Is that it? That's it?
Welcome
all
to
you
the
got?
Bullshirt podcast.
That's all you got?
Sponsored by Not Monster.
The Bullshirt Pants Optional Podcast.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
I like it. I'm writing that down.
I'm disappointed in you, Adam. You know why. You know why.
Oh my God. Yo, hold up. You talk among
fuck it, I'll take it whenever I can get it.
Talk amongst yourselves. We're gonna have a good outro here. Have you guys noticed that History Channel is inherently racist?
I can't say that I have.
So, if you're on the History Channel, they talk about like the Roman Colosseum or the aqueducts or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like an engineering marvel that was made by super smart people planning and building stuff. And then when they start covering like the pyramids, they're like, oh yeah, it must have been aliens. There's no way they could have figured this out.
Because they're black.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Dan. Yes.
Because they're black.
Well, I guess in that region they would have been little column A, little column B. Just saying.
Yeah, but most importantly to the bigots at the History Channel, they are not white. So.
Well, they did the same thing with the Incan pyramids because there was a university that was built in England around the same time. I forgot which one it was. Was it Cambridge?
And that was by white people, but no, brown people couldn't have built a pyramid. That must have been earlier.
Like while they were building pyramids, the English were building their version of fucking Hogwarts.
Let me guess, History Channel. The aliens were white people. They were gray. They were gray, which is more white than black. It's in between both. So.
It's in between, but it's closer to the correct.
Closer
the white
to white, if you had to.
That makes it less racist.
It makes us less racist because the aliens were not white; they were gray. So it's not as racist. Yeah, that's a fair point, Adam.
Yeah, I just started to realize as long as they're not white,
Anglo
aliens.
Of Anglo descent, it must have been aliens. Jesus Christ.
Little messed up.
Genuine snort anime for that one. That was good. I like that. Oh God.
Well, at least it's not the Learning Channel.
What did you learn?
I don't know what you're fucking learning anymore on that channel.
Yeah. Shit like my 918-pound life or whatever they're doing nowadays.
Bro, do you know
how much house you can afford when you have a ridiculous job?
Do you guys know what Cameo is?
Mm-hmm.
The app or the service. So for those of you that don't, you can pay a celebrity to do like a little 30-second hello to somebody. So I could pay like $20 and get like the chick from Doctor Who to be like, "Hi, Doug, happy birthday, glad you're whatever."
I bet it would probably be more than $20.
No, it's not.
Way back in the Doctor Who era.
No, it's not. That's the whole point. I mean, some of these guys do it for like $5. But the thing is, yeah, but they do it in such mass. I mean, it's literally like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
So
they
you
just
think
go
about it.
through them. They sit down for like 2 hours and they make like a couple $100,
Mm-hmm.
and they go
So,
on.
you know, if you're doing that in your off time, let's see. I was going to go and get like an actual.
Kevin Neely will give you like a product endorsement for like $20.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
So, $150 appears to be like their highest tier, and that's Mick Foley, Colin Mockery is the guy from Whose Line Is It? Whatever that is.
Whose line
Tommy
is it
Chong.
anyway?
Yeah, for $150, Tommy Chong will do a, you know, hey Doug, how you doing? Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
well, I
Johnny Van
don't give a
Zant.
fuck if Tommy Chong says happy birthday to me. But now, if they employed a large breasted Asian porn star,
Oh, I guarantee we could
that
find
would
that on
be
here,
Oh
man.
no, that's
different.
OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Different cameo.
Tracy Ann Oberman, Jennifer Hansen,
Sounds like their
Jerry
highest tier
Ryan.
has
You
a
remember
pretty
Jerry
low bar
Ryan?
for entry.
Oh wow, Jerry Ryan's $345. She's popular.
well, I mean, anyone can make a page.
So, but anyway, my point is that you mentioned 900 Pound Life, and one of the chicks from that show is on Cameo, so you can get her to do a shout out to somebody, you know, if you want.
Oh my God, you're shitting me.
No, nah, dude.
But to view
Why
it,
do
you got to
keep
have
making
the
these people
how much
famous?
is it?
Hold on.
900 pounds.
900 Pound Life Cameo.
What is that in dollars?
Angie J, my 600 Pound Life. Sorry, Angie
fuck that.
J. Yeah, reality TV, birthday, pep talk, roast, advice, question, fantasy football, or other. Book a personal video for $10. So yeah, for $10, she'll like roast you. I mean, I can't fucking hate on celebrities for doing it. I was at a tattoo convention a couple of years ago. It's been more than a couple, I guess. It was probably 2017. And there was this guy there, and I can't remember his name. He was he's been in like a fucking million horror movies. He's a Latino dude, Mexican. He's tatted up like up his neck and everything. And again, if you saw his face, you'd know exactly who I was talking about. But he was doing selfies for $5, and it's like, I mean, I can't hate on the guy for it, right? I mean, if you do 10, which at a convention like that's going to be low, you made $50. So it was like,
And you're already there. Like it's just,
right.
it's not an extra thing.
Right. So I was like, whatever. I don't blame these guys. And I think after the, like the SAG, BAFTA, whatever it is, the Actors Screen Guild, whatever. AFTRA. They did, they were on strike for a really long time, the writers and all the actors and everything, except for Drew Barrymore. And they were talking about like people think that all actors are like millionaires. And I remember I used to watch this guy on TikTok or something. He was an actor. And again, he's one of those faces, if you saw him, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen that fucking dude. You don't know his name, but you've seen the dude. And he would open royalty checks on these videos, and he'd be like, this was when I was on Small Wonder. This is when I was on fucking Law and Order or whatever. And these checks were like $12.76 and shit like that. And you realize that a lot of actors that you see are not making a ton of fucking money. They're not all super wealthy. So, hey, if you can make $50 saying hi to people, I mean, I see a guy like John Lovitz on there, and I'm like, come on, man, you should be doing all right. Like, I guess that 80s and 90s Coke probably took up a lot of his money, but yeah,
I don't know. I got lost on
for
a rabbit hole in this learning channel.
Yeah, so you're just
list of
posting.
shows.
Yeah, Robbie's posting
1,000-pound sisters.
Yeah, bizarre ass
Heaviest
fucking
season yet.
Yeah. If you,
Dear
you
God.
you could probably go back and watch them all on demand, buddy.
There is no demand.
There,
There is there is
there is
demand
none.
enough for them to, and it's weird. And part of being a Gen Xer, we've talked about this. How I didn't grow up with the internet. The internet was introduced to me, late teens, early 20s. Early 20s, really.
Back in the good
Um,
old days,
Back in the good old days, yeah, when the internet
when
was
there
cool.
was a IQ barrier for entry.
Into the internet, right? You had to boot up, you had to put your disk in, you had to get on AOL. Um, but the other thing that by being a Gen Xer that I experienced is that a lot of these channels that are out, I remember when they launched. You guys remember Spike TV?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the Man Channel or whatever the fuck they called it. Um,
Oh,
and
fuck that. I want the. It was only in existence for a short time, like on direct TV, because they were like
mhm.
the only people that carried it. But the fucking Kung Fu channel, all
Oh.
they showed was
Oh, yeah, that
old
one.
ass Kung Fu movies and samurai movies. That's
I
all
could
they
see
fucking showed.
you,
It was the
Jesus, Doug. You
greatest
would never know.
channel
No, you would
in the
never get
world.
anything done ever. There'd be like, "Where's Doug? He's auditioning for 1,000 Pound Doug because he just sits and eats and watches kung fu movies and Godzilla." Yeah, no, that would be bad for you, bud. That would be bad for you. But yeah, I remember all those. I remember when Sci-Fi first started, and it was mostly just like reruns of other sci-fi shows, and then they had a couple of originals that were really good, and now they're doing Sharknado Crack-Coon versus fucking prostitutes 4.
Now
You know
that's the
what?
kind of TLC content I can get behind.
Exactly.
I thought that like random smashing shit together thing was new, but last week I saw Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein,
Uh-huh.
and I realized they've been
Yeah.
smashing random shit together
Oh yeah.
forever.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's nothing new.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I remember channels that don't exist anymore. I remember when the Learning Channel was like
Learning channel.
actually, yeah. I mean, but you
Educational.
notice they don't call it the Learning Channel anymore. They call it TLC, right? I don't
And
even
what does it stand for?
right, exactly. I don't even know. Let me see something.
The Total Loser channel.
Yeah, it's just TLC. Yeah, if you pull up their website, you don't see the Learning Channel anywhere. It's just TLC, right? And there's a fucking reasoning for that. There's a reason for that.
Oh, Dr. Pimple Popper's on there.
Okay, she's cool. I do like her.
She's
Um,
hot.
she is
Is what
also
she
hot.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you got my 600-pound 90-day fiance and my ex.
My 690-pound fiance.
If you could waddle over here, I will give you a rose.
I choose you. Yeah, you got. So TLC is owned by Discovery Family of Networks, Food Network, HGTV, Travel, Food. I'm not travel, not travel. TRVL, Food.com, Cooking Channel, TLC.com, and Discovery.com.
Oh, all the bullshit channels owned by the same
Uh-huh.
company. Imagine that.
The
And it's the
reality
same,
TV network.
right? And when you pop up TRVL channel, because they just dropped all the vowels, it's Ghost-tober giveaway, the scariest ghost stories from Reddit, the Dead Files. Get your paranormal
From
fix.
Reddit. They're just reading r/no sleep post now. What are we doing?
That's the other thing that bothers me too. Is there? It seems like now it's a lot of news articles that are crazy shit that happened on Reddit. You'll never believe this
Mm-hmm.
thing that happened
Mm-hmm.
with subject.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
and
will
all
see
the and yeah,
cat and dog videos in Newsweek, for fuck's sake.
yeah, absolutely. And to Robbie's point, that I'm the same way, because that's literally what the headline will say. These top 10 crazy things on Reddit. Bruh, seriously? You're going to a website and you're basically just reprinting the website? Like, how is that even fucking
That's the
legal. Like,
new clickbait. They make something all dramatic, and it's just a bunch of people on Reddit bitching about things like they tend to do. And it's like,
on Reddit.
oh, it's a comment thread with 3 people posting.
Can you believe everyone on Reddit is mad at this one thing?
Oh my god, yeah, the state of like media. But the thing is that you got to create content constantly, and there's just not enough out there to keep everyone interested all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, you just I was talking to somebody. I had a theory. I don't remember if I talked to you. I don't think I talked to you guys about it, but we were talking about like dopamine and ADHD and stuff like that. And
Never heard of it.
never, yeah, no shit, right? I'm not familiar with this dopamine that you talk about. Um, but I started thinking one night, because I have ADHD and that's what I do, is I just think about random stupid shit all the time.
Weird.
And I was thinking about the concept of dopamine and how it works in the brain and why we have it and everything. And if you think about it, all the way back from fucking books, like just art, plays, music, anything that would artificially stimulate dopamine beyond, food, shelter, sex, that's about it. Anything that would trigger dopamine artificially. And when I say artificially, I mean that doesn't lend to your survival, right? Um, it's almost like insulin and sugar, right? Your body's trying to like work through something, and we're giving it all this fake bullshit, and that's just gotten worse over the years, right? I mean, now we got the internet. You can't little dopamine hits, stab, 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 little dopamine hits, and yet at the same time, you hear more about ADHD and autism. So you got to ask the question: is the increase in being diagnosed just because we have better like technology and more information, or are more people truly fucking up their dopamine systems? With all the flash bang bullshit that we've got surrounding us every day.
I think it's going to be wind up, one of these things where 100 years after we're all dead, they'll have a really good explanation for it.
Yeah, right.
And I'm willing to bet it will be a combination of environmental and electronic stimuli factors.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's probably a little bit of both. We've probably gotten better at diagnosing it, but I think we're seeing more of it just because of the state of the world. And we're always on a device. It's hard for me not to pick. I mean, I pick up my phone like people pick up a pack of cigarettes. Like there's no reason for me to pick up my phone. I don't
I've
have.
seen, yeah, I've seen Dan do that. He'll pick up his phone and then he'll slap it against his fucking hand like
Yeah,
27 times.
yeah. I got to pack it. I got to pack the data.
Yeah, and then when he shoves it in his mouth and sets the end on fire, it's weird, but we just let him go with it.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
record, Apple Care does not cover that. So I've learned that.
Write that
It's
down.
like some
Apple
kind of
Care.
weird executive dysfunction or like self-control dysfunction. Weird, huh? Never heard
I
of it.
also, excuse me, I realized the other day that um, I learned about stimming really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. And I have discovered that whistling and biting my nails, I think, are what I do to stim. I think that's why I bite my nails. Because I won't even, people are like, oh, you bite your nails because you're nervous. But I'm not. Like, I'm just sitting there watching TV or talking to somebody or something, and I am just destroying my fucking nails.
Well, isn't it a good thing it's that and not like standing in front of a glass screen door wiggling your weenie at the neighbors?
That's
Well,
a
he does
tough one,
that
buddy.
too. He does that
Yeah,
I
I
too.
was gonna
think you
say
can
that's a
only do
tough
that
one.
for so long.
Yeah, I mean, biting my nails certainly isn't affecting anybody but me. And although whistling, I have learned, speaking of autism and stimming and stuff like that, whistling will really trigger somebody who's autistic and has auditory
Yeah, that
processing
whole
issues.
misophonia or whatever it
Hmm.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're not fans of whistling.
no. And
Like
I
Andy Griffith comes on and they would run.
right. And it's I was thinking too that my dad used to whistle all the time when he was doing shit, and I mean, I don't think that whistling and just because you whistle, I don't think it necessarily means that you're neurodivergent or whatever. But I look at other factors like the fact my dad was a raging alcoholic, etc. I think he was the ADHD one out of my parents. I think he's where it came from. Just looking back at certain things, and he would whistle all the time, and I think that's where I picked it up. And recently, I was out doing some Jeep stuff with some friends, and a friend of mine asked me. She says, "What's with the whistling today?" And I said, What do you mean?" You're like whistling a lot. And I was like, "Am I?" And that's when I realized I was like, "Ah, shit." It's because I wasn't doing it consciously. And then when I was moving into the new apartment, I was actually whistling to the point that my throat hurt or my sinuses hurt from whistling, but I couldn't stop. I kept doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I whistling? It's hurting at this point. And that's when I started to realize, oh shit, I think this is me stimming. And I'm running out of dopamine. I'm running out of energy to keep moving. And my brain is just grasping for anything. Why whistling? Fuck, who knows? I mean, why autism? Why ADHD? Why any of it? Um, Definitely starting to think I'm a little more autistic than I did in the past, but I still stand by the my idea or my concept that autism and ADHD are so closely related. I think it's hard to really put a line between the two.
I've seen
So
you draw a little bit and doodle. I think you're pretty
mm,
autistic.
I used to doodle a fuck ton in school. Like I had nothing that didn't have bizarre, and it was always like concentric circles and shapes and patterns. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was just the acid.
that was well. That might be too. That might be too. I was like in sixth grade. I didn't start acid until 19. It
They
was
didn't have
19.
fidget spinners back then.
Exactly. Right. We made our own, and it was Mr. Adams. Huh? I'd look up. I didn't know where the fuck I was at, and I've doodled. Like I said, a bunch of circles and lines and little smileys everywhere. And, oh, hey,
Dicks all
welcome.
over the notebook.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Welcome back, Mr. Adams. And like, what class is this?
Say
It's
what
like,
now?
why
Yeah,
does
it's like
that
what now?
tank have a penis cannon?
It's like blowing. It's like blowing cum like this.
Yeah, that
And then
that
there's
was
guys
really
over
cool.
here like, and you start drawing guys. Yeah, there's guys over here, and they're like, ugh.
Oh, I
Like
definitely
pew
did
pew
that too.
pew.
Pew,
Yeah,
pew,
it's tough, man.
pew.
I mean, because some stuff's just kids being kids, and then, um, so I know somebody that, much like my parents, the whole ADHD isn't real, and you're not ADHD. I says, well, you're not ADHD. You don't act anything like people with ADHD, and I'm like, thank you. I worked very hard at masking and pretending to be fucking normal. Um, but you, when I was diagnosed, it really did make a lot more sense. Like some shit that I did as a kid, and you read up and you read like because the person I was talking to was like, back in my day we called ADHD just boys being boys, and I'm like, oh god, I hate. Okay, Jordan Peterson. Um, there is a difference. I mean, I absolutely believe that kids were probably diagnosed with ADHD when they weren't. Right. I don't doubt that at all. But I don't think that ADHD is fake. I don't think it just needs some discipline. I don't think that it was designed for pharmaceutical companies to sell drugs. Um,
I just think,
because
honestly, even though we got a lot of research, and especially more so in the last 20 years, I think it's still vastly misunderstood. I think it's going to be one of those things where there's it just kind of like you can't really cure the common cold because the common cold is actually like 600 different things,
yeah,
and it's
constantly change.
hard to do a blanket thing that gets them all.
Mm-hmm.
With ADHD, I think there are so many factors that are probably behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be until we've had extensive studies. I mean, we're just now really starting to semi kind of halfway understand the brain as far as the higher functions, the way everything works. They've been studying things for years where people get damaged sections in their
Mm-hmm.
brain, different things happen, but it's at the end of the day, just like we were talking about a while ago. I think it's probably a combination of environmental factors and electronic stimuli, but there's more to it. I think there's a series of dominoes that has to line up, and I think our society is built perfectly to streamline that. It's an assembly line.
Well, and I think I agree with you. And if you look at the four of us, right, all four of us have got ADHD slash autistic tendencies, right? Several of us have been diagnosed by professionals. But yet,
Oh, yeah.
oh, us. But at the
Yeah.
same time,
Wait a
all
minute.
four of us have different dominant ADHD symptoms, right? Like Doug's hyper focus is the thing of legends. Like I've walked up to him, talked to him. He's looked dead into my fucking eyes, turned away. I say something again, and he jumps out of his fucking chair. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I didn't know you were there. Doug, you looked right at me. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Because he was face down in the computer, like, and I don't hyper focus like that. Like I just don't. But you said you were talking about like environmental factors or, nature versus nurture. I think the environment in which you were raised will heighten certain parts of a neurodivergent behavior and then kind of roll off others by the way you were raised, right? And coping mechanisms and stuff like that. So I think you're right. I think you've got that underlying nugget of dopamine not being produced correctly or whatever. But then how you're raised and who your friends are and all that, I think play a huge part in how it manifests and how it comes out and into the world. But I tell people it's 50% curse, 50% superpower. One of the things all four of us have in common is we're all four highly intelligent, and that is kind of a side effect of a lot of people I know with ADHD or who are autistic, also tend to be very intelligent.
I'm pretty artistic.
I know. I was waiting for you. Out of all of us, I knew you were the one that was going to say it.
I've seen you doodle, Dan. I know you're pretty autistic, and in alt class, you would draw all kinds of
You're pretty
pictures in
autistic.
alt class.
Speaking of ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
I was having a weird thought today. What
Do
if you
share.
had a Santa Claus
Okay.
that instead of a sack full of toys over his shoulder, that was actually his colostomy bag?
Okay.
I had read that that's where that came from originally in like whatever like culture. It's
Yeah,
like
it was from Krampus because of all the stomach cramps that he had in German lore, I believe.
God damn it,
yeah,
Robbie.
they said he was
Taco
actually
Bell of York.
so the
don't
thing.
encourage him, Robbie. You're my shining beacon, buddy.
So me and Robbie were talking about this earlier.
Don't you
the
bring
thing-
him into this.
The thing was, Krampus was lactose intolerant, right?
Mhm.
So
All the
when you
cookies
leave-
and milk.
yeah, you leave the milk and cookies out, and then he
God damn
really
it.
has to go.
I hate
So
you.
then he has the colostomy bag over his back.
I hate all of you.
And there's actually a tube in a lot of the old like illustrations of Santa Claus. You can see the tube running down
I hate all of you equally.
and then into the bag from his ass.
That's
Or
why
it's-
you
Especially-
yelled a lot as it was coming out.
Yeah.
So-
Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, he was trying to get people to back up because if they got
That's it,
too
I'm
close,
done. Where's the
they
stop
would
button?
smell it.
Where's the quit button? Where's
Yeah, he
that?
was saying ho, ho. And some people said it was because of how it felt, but I think it was to cover up the sound of the explosive diarrhea so you wouldn't realize when he was in your home, he was actively shitting his colostomy bag full of
Shitting all over
diarrhea.
your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually dates back to the Egyptians. They actually found references to that in their hieroglyphics, according to what I watched on the Learning Channel.
No.
I did see the
Listen, I
drawings.
draw the line right there.
Yeah, well, they drew a lot of lines. That's mainly what hieroglyphics was at
It
the
was
time.
lines.
I think it was
They
my
were-
600-pound colostomy bag.
Those were prehistoric emojis.
You only got to empty it like once a week. It's like a porta john.
Mm.
It's like a
I
porta
mean,
john.
why you got to do Santa like that? Why? I mean, why Santa? I mean, first of all, Doug, why were you thinking that? But then I'm like, no, he prefaced that. He said, speaking of ADHD. So, and I understand the rabbit holes have no rhyme, no reason.
So my
I'm more
question
impressed,
would be, sorry, go ahead.
I was more impressed with the fact that we all just kind of jumped in on it, carried it through.
Because we all have fucking ADHD and stupid senses of humor.
Is he
The combination.
calved? That's the question.
Hmm?
Is Santa Claus calved?
Calved?
Catheter.
Calved? Like a catheter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if he's shitting, like if he doesn't have anywhere to shit and he's shitting a bag full,
The
he'd
dude,
still have to
okay,
stop and
hold on.
pee.
Okay, hold on. The
He'd still
dude
have to
is
stop and pee.
magical. The dude's magical. He has flying reindeer.
He still has to shit.
He can travel, but does he? But
Does he travel with poop bags? Who cleans up after the
Does it-
goddamn reindeer?
they're magic too. They
They have magic shit.
They don't shit. They're magic. Do you think
But I
unicorns
they
shit?
could
Do you
save
think
some
unicorns
money on
poop?
giving
No.
coal.
I bet you unicorns shit all over the place.
No.
Robbie,
No,
did
What do
you
you
just
think
say?
that rainbow is they gallop on?
No.
It's just Roy G. Biv poop.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's what it is. That the rainbows that the unicorns run on, total shit.
This is what I give up every Thursday night for, or every other Thursday night for. This is what I give it up for, is to have conversations like this, really. And not only that, but record them and put them out for public fucking consumption. Like this.
Yeah,
This
rainbow
is what
shit.
Wait.
Like,
I
this
have a question.
Okay.
So, are the presents in the bag with the shit?
No, because he's magic. And
You can't just be a
Yes.
Christian about it and say it's just
Yes.
magic and it explains everything away.
Santa
Well,
and
maybe
Jesus, they're
Maybe the
magic.
toy dispenser is in the front.
Oh, it's like a separate. I see what you're saying. Inside the bag, it's separated, right? So it's like two bags. There's a
It's like
present
a
compartment.
kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, I got you.
Knowing
Yeah.
Doug, he's probably making a dick reference. That like the toys come out of Santa's dick.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, as long as it's a PlayStation, who gives a fuck?
Do you know how bad that would? I mean, you think stones are
No,
bad?
it
Bypassing
wouldn't
a fucking
hurt because he's
PlayStation.
magic and everything
No,
is
that's
different
you can't.
when you're
you
magic.
You can't magic a PlayStation 5 out of your dick. You just
He has a magical
No.
urethra. And
No,
he can expand
no,
it at will.
no,
He's been
no.
sounding for years.
sounding with what, a shovel? Jesus
You
Christ.
just have to make him excrete dimensional portal fluid.
There you go. Is that what? It's
That's what
okay,
happens.
kids. It's okay, kids. This is how you get your present.
Yeah, it looks like a Rick and Morty portal when he.
Yeah, dimensional
Wow.
with
Why do you
their
think
dimensional
all the-
portal fluid.
Why do you think all the presents are wrapped in paper? It's waterproof.
It's for safe portaling.
Yeah.
Safe portaling. I
See, that's why he needs milk and cookies because, as we all know, portal fluid requires a very high sugar content and lots of calcium.
just know that after I fucking blow a load, I'm hungry, sleepy and hungry. So milk and cookies would be cool after blowing a load of presents, especially a PS5.
Do you
Yeah.
think he's so fat because he only eats fucking cookies all day?
And milk, yeah. That, and I think Mrs. Santa's a chubby chaser. I think she likes them chunky. She likes them
It's
thick.
just a tumor. It's
It's
just a tumor.
a giant. No, that's
Harder
Rudolph.
to run away when they can't go jogging.
But he flies away on a
But he's got-
magical sleigh.
Yeah, that magical reindeer, bro. Like he can.
Yeah, but she only lets him out of the house once a fucking year.
Yeah, well,
That's why his sack's so full. He only gets to come once a year.
right. Because Santa only comes once a year, and only if you're a good boy or a good girl.
He doesn't discriminate.
Oh, Jesus. Seriously, I hate all of you. I
Robbie,
do.
did you say the lump of coal was just like compacted shit from the bag?
No, it's saying that he could save a lot of money on giving shitty kids a bag of coal. Just give them part of his colostomy bag or something.
Just
Yeah,
reach in his
that's what I would do.
bag and get out
Just
a
sling a
little
turd onto the fucking mantle and go on.
Or either that, give them the weirdest Go-Gurt ever.
Ew.
I got a stocking stuffer for you.
Oh my god, guys, it's Santa. Get away, kid. I'm stuffing your fucking stocking.
Oh, it's only October. Like this should be the Christmas special. We've been sitting here for 20 minutes talking about fucking Santa defiling people's homes and children.
Hey kid, where's the bathroom? I gotta take a wicked fucking piss.
What if he just pisses eggnog?
That'd be pretty awesome, dude. I would definitely piss in my own mouth if I pissed eggnog.
I bet you he goes full Christmas vacation and empties the bag in the storm drain outside.
Yep, shitter's
Shit
full.
is full. Yeah.
Shitter's full.
Eggnog is nasty,
Merry
by the way.
Christmas.
There's nothing good about eggnog.
That's why
You
they add
just haven't
alcohol
had
to
good
it.
eggnog.
It's terrible. Eggnog is terrible, and you should feel terrible for liking it. So, feel terrible, Adam.
Well, 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 if it isn't Dan, the arbiter of truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, buddy.
Gatekeeping beverages over here.
Oh, we're gatekeeping fucking beverages, holiday beverages now? Is that what we're doing?
Did you just assume my beverage?
Trans beverage rights. This beer
guys
identifies
see,
as a soda.
Did you guys see the guy that made the Carolina Reaper made the
Pepper X.
the new hottest pepper?
Yeah.
Fuck
I wonder
yeah.
why Pepper X.
I think we're at a certain point where it's just dick swinging contest.
Well, that's exactly it. He just, I watched an interview with him. He's just kind of weird about peppers.
I mean, yeah, I
used to be
wouldn't
a
have
drug
to watch
addict.
an interview.
Well, he was like a meth addict or something.
No, it's a
And-
Chase
pepper
that
addict.
endorphin rush.
Right. And that's kind of what I gathered from the interview.
That dude's not going to be happy until to hold it, you have to wear some sort of biocontainment suit.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to wear a welding shield to shield yourself from the light, from the heat of the goddamn pepper.
He
Like,
said,
no shit, though. Like, green chilies are overrated here in Colorado, but they do have their uses. So I bought 2 bushels this year, and, you get them roasted, and you have to peel them and clean them and all that. And I tried using gloves, and it was just a pain in the ass, so I took the gloves off.
And that
Turns
was a
out
pain.
you will get chemical burns from peeling 2 bushels of green chilies. And they weren't even that hot.
yeah, fuck
No, but
that.
volume, buddy. Volume.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Your pain amuses me.
Quantity over quality.
Always, baby.
So this guy, when he made his pepper, he said the heat lasted for 3.5 hours. And then the cramps came.
The Krampus.
Those
I hope he
cramps
had
are
his-
horrible. I was laid out flat on a marble wall for approximately an hour in the rain, groaning in pain. Yeah, I want to try that.
When you fucked up and you ate something too hot, when your stomach gets that cold feeling, that's when you have fucked up, sir.
It's scary. He's like one of those scientists who was like experimenting with like LSD and tried it for the first time. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Right. But he
And
apparently
I've had some stuff, and I've seen some things, eating some
I've
hot
seen
peppers.
some things, some stuff. During that interview he was talking about he's to the point now where, the Reapers, he just eats them, just snaps them off, eats them, and goes about his business. I was like, no, that's because you've damaged all of the things that you're not supposed to
That's
damage.
what happens when you're dead inside.
Right. You've embalmed yourself and you just don't know it yet.
There is no
Yes.
microbiome left. It's all
Right.
just capsaicin.
He has to keep eating peppers to live.
His
It's got
guts
to-
look like the beginning of the Terminator movie.
I know it's gotten to the point like I'm not eating something crazy like a Reaper by itself, but it's gotten to the point where my sense of heat is dead. Like, how hot is this, Robbie? Well, have you ever had Tabasco?
Yeah, I don't trust you anymore.
I had to compare it to something else that people know because
Yeah,
no.
I don't trust you anymore. I learned that your sensor is off. So
I'm off.
you're off as well. Yeah, that is true. And I do like spicy food, don't get me wrong. I've got all kinds of hot sauces and stuff like that, and I do like them, but only if they provide some kind of fucking flavor. Like,
Well, that's me. I don't care for like pure capsaicin extract. That shit's just
yeah, like
bragging
why?
rights.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, if you say, "Hey Doug, that's spicy," what you should actually say is, "Hey Doug, you're going to be shitting yourself in the bathroom for 4 hours, cursing the day that you were born, and asking me why I didn't stop you from turning your butthole into a flamethrower."
You know what's funny is that most spicy food doesn't do that to me, unless I eat like a ton of something like insane. But
You gonna be in the office tomorrow?
I will, yeah.
Fix that.
Okay. I'm gonna fix that, and my dumb ass will eat it too. Challenge accepted. Um, there's a place I used to get chicken biryani from, and I would get it. I'd get about 3 or 4 bites in, and I'd start sweating. I'm like, oh my god, this is so hot. Chow, chow, chow. And I just like about every 6 bites or so, I'd sit there for a minute and be like, oh, okay. Bite, chow, chow, bite, chow. Why am I doing this to myself? But never, Taco Bell never tore me up like that. But God forbid I eat a piece of bread. So, or drink a glass of milk. And then it's all bets are off. So, yeah. I actually know someone that's supposed to get me some Carolina Reaper seeds. We had a guy, his family still lives in the Carolinas, and they got a hold of some, and we're growing them. And he brought a bunch of them in. I gave Robbie a very large selection of them, and one of the guys has been saving all the seeds, and he asked me if I wanted some. I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do!" So I'm going to grow some Reapers.
Clones. You bought some
Clones.
clones off of somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you what scares me is how dry it is out here, and I know that when I would grow jalapenos, that drier weather for some reason makes
It
them
makes them more like red. And,
infinitely hotter. Yeah,
oh,
it's got something to do with the way they like protect themselves or water or something. I read something about it once, but
Or either that, probably just producing less sugars, and the sugar may have had a calming effect on
right,
whatever
some
it
kind of
is.
yeah.
Because
I don't
it
know.
says right
climate,
here. The reason that it does that is because it's a it's a reaction inside of the pepper from the dryness. Like it's not getting enough moisture, so it retains more of that capsaicin. Doesn't sweat it out as far as like the growing process goes. So that when it's growing,
I can hear your cheeks, Adam. I can hear your cheeks.
it's
what
Which
do you
ones?
mean?
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm just reading off of Google for you guys. Let me
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit more here.
Uh-huh.
We got 17 more minutes to go.
All right, let's see.
Fun fact: birds are immune to the effects of capsaicin.
I actually
What?
did know that.
So they'll just like eat your
Because
peppers?
Well,
yeah,
some
so they
birds.
can spread the seeds and make them grow elsewhere.
I do the same thing.
Eat seed.
Spread it.
I got some seed you can eat.
Yeah. Adam really likes spreading seed.
I
Yeah,
do.
there's
I do.
there are I know some birds. I don't know if it's all birds or not. But I bought this dog vomit fucking pepper sauce shit. Oh, it was terrible. But it was called like yellow bird or something, and they're like yellow birds don't
But you sold
friggin'
it so hard with the The dog vomit
Oh
sauce.
god, dude, it was so terrible.
Made with real birds.
It's so awful.
I'm sure you were like, is that Labrador or is that Wolfhound? I'm getting notes of Wolfhound.
with notes of wolfhound, notes of wolfhound who ate cat litter. Yeah, I bought. It was a green pepper condiment, is what it was called. It was not a hot sauce. It was green chili condiment, and I was like, okay, that I like green chili, and I couldn't find my Cholula's green chili. They make a really good green chili sauce, and I couldn't find it, and I was like, I'll just buy this. Got home and I made, I think, breakfast burritos or something. Slathered that stuff on there and took a bite. I was like, it was fucking awful. And it's very, very rare that I run across hot sauces. Well, I'm sorry.
Well, it sounds like
Green
they
chili
wasn't sure what the
condiment.
fuck to call it because they didn't call it, taco sauce, burrito sauce, hot sauce. They called it fucking condiment.
Condiment, yeah.
I mean, that all that means is you're supposed to put this on stuff.
Yeah,
So
Yellowbird.
they didn't even name the sauce.
It's it's sauce.
It's just
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
condiment.
Those
Like
weird
Miracle
FDA
Whip
things.
is a condiment.
whip. Miracle
No,
Whip.
that's trash.
I
What?
agree.
Miracle Whip's awesome.
That's what he's
We'll just
saying. It's a
call it a
condiment because it's not
condiment.
mayonnaise. Yeah,
It's awesome.
like Kraft Singles or cheese product.
Because they say it's a salad dressing, but have you ever gone to a steakhouse and when they ran through the list, they might say Russian, French, ranch, Italian. Nobody has ever said fucking Miracle Whip. So it's not salad dressing, it's a fucking condiment.
It is, and it's good. I like it. I was looking for the yeah, it's Serrano. Yeah, it's got like pickled juice and shit in it. It's terrible. Just don't do
Pickle
it.
juice and shit.
Pickled juice and shit, which is I'm pretty
Yeah, just
sure
like Santa's bag.
It's the front and the back. It's
Yeah.
pickle juice and shit. Maybe that's
But-
where it comes from.
But
Yeah.
it's full of probiotics.
does have it. Hey man, I thought about doing a fucking fecal transplant back in the day when I was having stomach issues.
You
And
want to poop back and forth with me?
right? I mean, we could do this a lot cheaper, Dan. Hold
Yeah.
still. Just no.
You've wandered into a strange area of Pornhub.
This is the weirdest variation of snowballing I've ever heard of.
So for those of you who don't know what fecal
They call it
transplant
brown
is,
catch.
brown catch. Hey, Dad, would you like to go have a catch? I sure would, son. Sure would. Fecal matter transplant is when they take poop from one person's butt and they put it in someone else's butt. I am simplifying it a bit, but that's basically what they do. So, or you can take pills, but I feel like I don't think I could swallow those, knowing what was inside of them.
Eat shit, Dan. You're like, it's part of my prescription. I got it right
Right.
here.
No, doc, no. Yeah,
Is that
it's,
covered under FSA?
I mean, if so, let's go.
The old
I
I just
We're
don't
getting
trust
out.
it.
Hmm? You don't trust what?
I don't trust it to dissolve slow enough in my stomach to take a shit pill.
You start belching. You're like, oh, it tastes like
Yeah,
shit.
I
Fucking
wonder what
burping turds.
goes. I just wonder what goes through your mind while you're getting ready to eat the capsule. Are you
Mhm.
picturing all those times that someone told you to eat shit and, like, take a picture, make a meme out of it? What do you do with that? Do you just eat shit, move on about your day?
You don't ever tell anyone, Doug. You don't ever tell anyone that you literally ate someone else's like cleaned poop. You just
On the other hand, it's got to be pretty
could
bad
just
if
tell
you're
them you
that-
went to-
if you're desperate enough to do that.
fair enough. Fair enough.
You could just tell
But-
them you went to the human centipede clinic.
But the science behind it, they many years ago when they first started doing this, they had it was this woman. She was a long distance runner, and she was real thin and muscular, but she had is it diphtheria? What is it? Yeah, it's something like that in your guts.
No,
Like
it's C. difficile.
That's it. C. diff. So she had a C. diff infection, and they just couldn't get rid of it. No matter what they did, it just kept coming back worse and worse. So they said, okay, you need a fecal matter transplant. We're going to put good biome back into your guts. So they did it, and it worked. The C. diff disappeared. They found no trace of it. And then over the next few months, this woman started gaining weight. She couldn't get rid of the weight no matter what she did. Her diet changed completely.
She's full of shit, dude.
She started to crave all this weird stuff. They determined that your gut biome then it determines more about you than people thought. And they come to find out that the poop they had given her was from this big old fat dude who had a relatively healthy gut, apparently. But it changed her biome so much that it changed the way that she processed food and everything else.
Grew
so
a big fat penis.
Yeah, she did.
And they realized your microbiome determines your penis size.
The size of your micro penis.
Yeah.
Well, she put it in her, and then it fucked her shit up.
Yeah, literally. So now, in order to be a donor for fecal matter transplant, you have to have like a certain BMI. They look for people who are athletic, stuff like that. So it's pretty fascinating if you really get into it. I would still do it if I could find a doctor to prescribe it, because I'd find somebody who was like fit and had a giant penis.
We could have the weirdest GoFundMe ever.
Oh,
please help Dan eat shit.
I love this. And honestly, if we could come up with enough money to get a doctor to do it, I would even do the capsules just for that reason. Yeah.
Couldn't you just do a suppository capsule? Wouldn't that make more sense?
That's usually what they do is they
I
don't even
thought
know if
you literally ate it.
They
give him spit roast action, one in each end.
One in each end, yeah. No, they have capsules that you can swallow, and then they get into your intestines, or they can go up through the back and put it in directly.
Put it between 2 slices of Wonder Bread.
With some Miracle Whip on it.
What are you, a dog? You're trying to trick yourself into thinking it's not?
No, you can have a turd sandwich.
Okay. Fine.
Robbie wins.
Yeah.
Robbie, you won. You won the podcast.
You won the podcast.
I'm going to start a cameo for deadpan monotone humor. Happy birthday.
Robbie will tell you a joke.
Happy birthday.
Right.
Fuck yourself.
Happy birthday. I hope it's great. Well.
Happy goddamn birthday.
Just whenever you do, don't ever pressure cook a brisket. I fucked that up.
Either or. I mean, don't do either one.
A biscuit too. That probably wouldn't work either.
Probably not.
Biscuit.
Brisket. Yeah.
That'd be like the weirdest dumpling ever.
A brisket
It'd
biscuit?
be like
unless
a boiled biscuit.
Dim sum, yeah.
Or I should say a pressure cooked biscuit, because a boiled biscuit is a dumpling.
I can't imagine
chicken and dumplings.
I feel like if you were to put the ingredients for a biscuit into a pressure cooker and turn it on, I feel like that would not work out the way that you think it would.
Well, let me find out tomorrow. I know a guy that might try this.
See, you take the activated yeast, and then when that gets into your guts, it fixes everything.
He's probably allergic to it. Never mind.
But you got to pressure cook it first.
Just remember, kids, it's portal fluid. It'll take you to a magical place.
Santa only comes once a year, and only for the good girls and boys. God, Santa's a fucking pedophile and a rapist.
That's why it doesn't go to Chris Hansen's house. Not anymore.
Maybe that's why it's called Christmas. I don't know.
They blurred his face out, but you could still see the big red hat.
Ho, ho, ho.
My name's Steve. Ho, ho, ho.
Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. Uncle Gary, tell me a story.
It says right here, we have the chat logs right here. C. Kringle69 said,
C. Kringle 69.
TRD
Yep.
Pro 69.
The only
Sure.
Amber Alert with a candy cane background.
Be on the lookout for a sleigh with magic reindeer traveling down 25 towards
bag.
Pueblo with a colostomy bag.
Oh no, that'd be an improvement for Pueblo.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Oh, wow, we didn't talk about anything of any value at all.
do we ever? Do we ever?
Did you forget what you were
A
podcasting?
part of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I guess we never do, really.
This isn't a fucking dissertation on French literature channel.
Well,
We.
We.
Wee? Well, that's what I signed up for, Doug. I mean, when the three of you said, let's do a podcast, and I saw the brain power, I just assumed that that's what we were going to be doing. I mean, I don't think anyone
French dissertation?
Yes.
Je parle français un peu, y'all.
Boo, y'all. Je ne parle pas français très bien, y'all.
Is poutine French?
Yes.
No, I think he's Russian.
But bumps.
Got us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
That
be here all
sucked.
night, guys. Be sure to tip your bartender.
All by yourself. I assure you. That's why you don't have a girlfriend, Adam.
No, it's not.
Jokes like that.
That's
Why
not
don't you-
why.
Why don't you
They're
have a
not on
girlfriend?
his level. They don't think they're, yeah.
Yeah, they're not on my level.
Uh-huh. Of autism? Good
I
luck.
said level, not spectrum.
Oh, gotcha.
They're not on my level, Dan.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Robbie. They're not on my level.
Jesus.
They're just after his portal fluid.
Right. They know where the gift bag is.
Yeah, they can't handle all this.
Mm-hmm. Feliz Navidad, motherfucker.
Hey, did you guys see scientists think that you can cure ED with spider venom?
No, I
I
didn't
tried.
see
It doesn't work.
that.
Well, I think, let me bring my spider over and let it bite you.
Yeah,
I think you
the dick.
got to do it on the dick. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well,
This
could
could
you
be a
know?
new sci-fi movie, Spider versus Anaconda.
Well, in that vein of thought, did you see where scientists said that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was the greatest bird to stone ratio?
God damn it.
Oh, that was good.
Couldn't even get that one out. So that was one of those Skeletor things that I saw. He's like, remember that the asteroids that killed the dinosaurs was the best bird to stone ratio yet. Until next time.
Bird in the hand is worth two in the bush.
Bush. All right, well.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.